Hello, this is Joe Saunders, WBO middleweight champion of the world. Subscribe to Sport and Icons to stay in touch with all the top news. God bless you all.
Okay, so Billy Joe Saunders has finally broke his silence and done an interview with IFL TV. Umar. Now, it kind of come out of the blue. I wasn't expecting that to happen, so sometimes it's good, isn't it? It's good to not expect something and you get it. Billy Joe Saunders, of course, he's done many interviews now before, but since the Canelo Alvarez loss, haven't really heard a peep from him, really, have we? Now, the interview, I thought Billy Joe came across very well, but of course the thing that people were most interested in was the Canelo Alvarez fight. What happened? So he says that something happened with his cheek. He felt the shot land, and suddenly he couldn't see out of his eye. It was a huge shot, and he gives Canelo Alvarez all the credit in the world. He said that when he went to the hospital later on in the day or the evening, they had to do some kind of operation or something by going through his mouth to remove a shard of bone that had broken off and went to the back of the orbital. So he could have gone blind in that moment. So him being pulled out of the fight is the right thing to do. Now, I will say that Billy Joe, he did come across like he wasn't too happy with Mark Tibbs for some reason. Not exactly sure. I mean, maybe I misunderstood it. Maybe I misunderstood the vibe, possibly. He was saying something along the lines of Ben Davison went to the hospital and a couple of other people went to the hospital, but he didn't mention Mark Tibbs. Did Mark Tibbs not go to the hospital? I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. But as to what a lot of people are saying, how Billy Joe Saunders is a quitter, well, I said it back then and I'll say it now. It doesn't really matter, does it? Whether he quit, whether he got pulled from the fight, who knows? But I mean, Billy Joe, he did say that he wanted to go out for one more round. That would have been stupid. So what's a fighter supposed to do? Go out there and risk it even more? I said the same thing about Kell Brook. He'd done the right thing. I said the same thing about Darren Dubois. Done the right thing. Now people can say, yeah, but this fighter and this fighter, he carried on. Okay, goody. Good for them. Different situations. Different kinds of injuries. No injury is the same. It really isn't. But ultimately, this is the first time that Billy Joe Saunders had ever really been under real fire. Billy Joe Saunders was doing well in this fight. Was it Ben Davison who pulled the plug? Pretty much, yes. We could say that. And apparently Ben Davison said to Billy Joe, it's over, there's no point, you can get a rematch out of this one. Will we get a rematch out of that one? Highly unlikely. By the sounds of Billy Joe Saunders, he's only after maybe one more fight, and then that'll be it. And if he doesn't fight again, he's perfectly happy. So we'll have to wait and see. Of course, the names Chris Eubank Jr. was mentioned, the name Triple G, Gennady Golovkin was mentioned, and maybe a Demetrius Andrade was mentioned. So maybe we might see Billy Joe Saunders once more. But the thing is always going to be there. Did Billy Joe Saunders quit? I understand when people say what he said about Darren Dubois. I fully understand, I do. Of course I do. But as I said back then, it's one thing to say something about another fighter when that situation never happened to you. Truth is, you don't know what it is that you would do in that situation yourself. There's no point in carrying on if you ain't going to win the fight. Darren Dubois, at that point, was not going to win the fight. When it happened with Kell Brook, he was not going to win the fight when his eye went. As in, on two occasions. Of course, the first one was with Triple G, second one with Errol Spence Jr. Billy Joe Saunders was not going to win the fight at this point. Even with two good eyes, it looked like he wasn't going to win the fight. If I'm being brutally honest, of course I wanted Billy Joe Saunders to win. But at that point, it didn't look like he was going to win the fight. It looked like Canelo Alvarez had just figured him out at that point. So him quitting, people will say he quit. Some people will say he didn't. He was pulled from the fight. Ben Davison and Mark Tibbs give two different stories to it. Billy Joe Saunders didn't really say which one is right between Mark Tibbs and Ben Davison. He didn't really say that one. But he did say that he wanted to go out for one more round. By the looks of it, his entire corner agreed that he shouldn't go out for one more round. And thankfully he didn't, right? Now, I know people say, yeah, but where's the x-rays? Where's this? Where's that? Well, where is it? It's none of your business is where it is, okay? That's the truth of it. No fighter has to show any kind of medical record. Who do they owe? Do they owe you? Do they owe me? No, of course not. Would we like to see them? Of course we would. Maybe the injury wasn't that bad. I don't know. Maybe he's exaggerated it. Maybe he just had enough in that moment. Maybe. But you could definitely see that something had gone wrong in his eye. Something had definitely gone wrong. But, who knows? Listen, only Joe Saunders really knows the truth. Only him. Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up. Subscribe. Catch you on the next video.